passengers mega sim coming soon. Niddertalbahn Bad Vilbel to Stockheim. This news article is all about that route. It is coming. Time to ditch the electrics, forget the overhead wires, rev up some engines as German train sim world content goes back to the original 1990s, the early 1990s, and onto a complete diesel-powered branch line. And it will be released March 23rd. That's just under a week away, Thursday 23rd of March. Some of us may have known about Niddertalbahn for a while now. Eagle-eye viewers may have noticed the slipping out of the name of the forthcoming route last September in the Freedom Dev Diary, of course. And there was a teasing of a little more of it during the Festival of Rail Spring Summit in Feb, confirming that the DBBR 628.2 DMU was in the process. Dedicated roadmap followers will also know that the route introduces Train Sim Germany, TSG, to Train Sim World 3 as part of the ongoing partner program. So, take a look at the March roadmap, which I didn't do a video of because I was away. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was in Dublin, wasn't I? Anyway, to learn more about some of the fun challenges they had when developing this quaint but detailed route. Units, locomotives and services. So first of all, passenger trains, DBBR 628.2. Heading up passenger operations on the route is the DBBR 628.2 DMU, requested by much of the Train Sim World community over the years. Variants of this dependable unit, built in the 1980s, became widespread across a number of German regions during the 90s and 2000s, including the branch line between Bad Vilbel and what was then named Stockheim. A striking white and mint green livery appears from before the reunification of Germany in '89, adding something different to the largely red palette from other German Train Sim World routes. So a simple, practical, utilitarian, I did say it right the first time, DMU, similar in spirit to the Pacer units. The DBBR 628.2 can hit 70 miles per hour. That's 120 kilometers for anyone else, courtesy of a turbocharged V12 diesel engine. A slower pacer of life in the rural postcard picture Hesse region brings a different style of play to this route, where punctuality is paramount to ensure trains aren't unduly held at numerous passing loops along the single line track. Trains operate the full length of the complete branch line between Bad Vilbel and Stockheim, as well as some shorter services between intermediate stations. So there's a total of 54 playable passenger services over a short but complete route. See a timetable form that's dependent on good timing. Not only will slow running hold up others, but arriving early will mean your train is waiting before being able to proceed onto the next section. So now just looking at the timetable overview. The passenger timetable works to reflect the ebb and flow of peak and off-peak services across the route, with an hourly service worked by two trains between the hours of 9 and 12, so 9 AM and midday, after which things become busier with the introduction of a third train, having uncoupled from another. Later in the day, this third train recouples with the train it originally was attached to, bringing the service frequency back down again. The afternoon services have a bias away from Frankfurt, from Bad Vilbel towards Stockheim. Between 10 to 3 and 5:15, there are no full-length services in the opposite direction from Stockheim to Bad Vilbel. Instead, trains running from Stockheim during this period terminate at Altenstad and Heldenberg-Windecken, where they are held to allow the other services through. In order to keep this flow of trains moving throughout the day, some service has limited stops, thus allowing others to cross them at passing loops effectively and keep to time. Oh, I can see a different train there. Does that look like it looks like a 103. You'll see the photos coming through. Players that picked up the previous German route add-on Link Rheinstrecke, there we go, will be able to see non-stop AI services of the 103 and the 110.3, and will be able to make use of the 628 on Link Rheinstrecke through a number of playable service layers. Nice! Now let's have a look at freight trains, the BR365. Joining the passenger services is a diesel shunter, which is the BR365. As a mainline freight locomotive running a total of 8 services along the course of the line, collecting stock and performing light engine movements. These services are formed in parts as they're often held in order to prioritise passenger trains. There's a new wagon. The ES50 makes an appearance behind the shunter, forming the sugar beet trains that were once a daily occurrence in the area until the beginning of the 90s. Though this shunter is on the outside visually similar to the 363, the 365 has been modelled to reflect the condition it would been seen in during this period. So the route back to the 90s. So during the 90s, Germany had a renewed vigour following the reunification of East and West Germany in 1989 and a World Cup victory for the national team in 1990. So this route comes set in 1992, a year that heard U2's Berlin record album Achtung Baby play endlessly across Europe and saw a young Michael Schumacher take his first of many Formula One wins. The route, stations, signage and train services all reflect this period, depicting a time prior to the redevelopment of a number of the route's stations and an introduction of more modern DMUs. Younger players familiar with this area of Germany may not recognise names like Heldenberg and Windecken, or even the route's terminus at Stockheim, as they have since been renamed to Nidderau and Glauberg-Stockheim respectively, along with others. The sugar beet freight trains also reflect the time, so these daily services which would have moved sugar beet off the line to the sugar factory in Friedberg came to an end at the start of the 90s, making the setting of this route a fitting tribute to some of the final such trains that made their way through the area. In total, there are 14 stations that occupy what is a complete branch line along the Nidder Valley, therefore known as Niddertalbahn, which is seen at a slower pace when compared to other Train-Sywell routes, but in a high level of detail. Greenery fills the wide cab window, and with open fields, woodlands stretching to the horizon, and farmland full of crops between each of the towns and villages along the line. Along the way, players will be encouraged to collect Celtic statues, replace milk bottles, repair broken level crossing signs, and put up posters. There is also some defining railway features on the route, from the first appearance of an animated German semaphore signal in Train-Sywell to AI services being able to recognise whistle boards and honk accordingly. Ooh, that sounds good. So AI services, when they go past a whistle board, they'll be able to honk and make their noise. I like that. That's a good little feature. Oh yeah, you did the whole time. Train-Sywell 3 Niddertalbahn Bad Vilbel to Stockheim route add-on, Thursday the 23rd of March. As usual, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Epic Game Store and Steam. 30 quid, 40 euros, 30 quid, $40, 36 euros. I know, I'm tired. I've been out today. I've just got back home. Can't say much about it. Just like a nice trip, train wise, all train orientated. Hopefully we'll get a video all about what it was and what's coming in the future soon. I will say it's not Train-Sywell, just to say, but yeah, really good, really exciting stuff that I was doing today, and yeah, I just am shattered now. But anyway, there will be a preview, but it doesn't say when. Is it tonight? Let's have a look. Is it tonight? Yes. In 2 hours, it says for me. So there will be a preview tonight, and when we get the game, we will be creating some video content. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to being on this one, because yeah, it's a very small line, little branch line. It's got more stations than Midland Main Line has, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what this train does. But yeah, if you did like this video, give it a thumbs up. Lets me know that you care. Social media links are in the description below, and I will see you on the next video. And hopefully the music in this isn't as loud as my 12 stations, 12 days. Don't go there. never mind. Anyway, thanks. Have a good evening, everyone. This is Mega Sim out of here. See you soon, guys. Bye.